Okay, so meanwhile, until everybody joins, let's hear where everybody's at. So I'm from Tel Aviv, Israel. Martin, where you're at now?
I'm based in the Netherlands, indeed, close to Utrecht.
So you can write us in the comments where you're from. Nice way to pass the time till everybody joins. Okay, I think we can start. So, hi everybody, and thank you for joining another Pynt webinar. And today we're going to dive into a topic that is sometimes referred to like the promise that will solve all abstract problems, and some call it like a broken promise. You know, something that was supposed to happen but didn't happen. That is shift left. I mean, the idea that doing security checks as early as possible in the software development lifecycle. So we're going to talk about that. And today with me, I think it's the best guy to have on this subject, Martin. Martin, like to introduce yourself?
I'm Martin Knobloch. I have been, until last year, a long time always volunteer and participated. I'm in AppSec for 20 years, 27 years of IT experience. I'm a VP Security Engineering at Valtech.
So I'm Ori, the CTO here at Pynt. And let's start. So I think so. We made a survey of around 250 professionals around this subject, and we asked them about shift left, and we got numbers, and we're going to talk about them in a bit later. But the numbers a bit surprised me about the adoption rate of shift left. I mean, it is almost 50% said that they implemented shift left in their companies. So it made me to think. I mean, what is a successful shift left implementation? Is it if I'm just throwing tons of tools, you know, like SAS Dust, you know, SCA, IAC scanners, secret detection, whatever, in my CI/CD pipeline? Does that mean that I've shifted left, or is just giving the dev team the responsibility of security? Is that really shift left? So I think I'm really not sure which one of them. I mean, you can let us know what you think, but um, it is, I think, the question here that wasn't sure if the people got it right in the survey. So let's look at that. So as I said, about 50% said they've implemented shift left, which is amazing. I thought that it will be a much lower number, but so it really feels a good thing to hear about that. And almost everybody uses tools for shift left. And of course, the challenges are as predicted. But the question is, what's the responsibility here? So of course, the tool need to be great and amazing, and security tools need to perform well and don't have false positives, and be easily integratable, which maybe is the key point here to integrate well. But in the end, if you implementing it, who's responsible in that? What do you think about this, Martin?
Yeah, I think the problem is that the security things they put up on security on the developer, like they think look down on developers that you are failing because you build insecure software. But actually, developers want to build right software, right? They should be proud of the quality that they're delivering. So you're putting tools up on somebody else's workspace, and you don't understand what they're doing. And I've seen so many AppSec people that think, "Oh, I'm super cool because I can hack," whereby writing reliable code is so hard, right? They're not trained, and just to say, "Oh, you do it wrong, and here's a tool to do it better." No, the tools are insecure tools. It's just showing them what to improve. But you could change it because your responsibility is to help them write secure code. But it's the responsibility of the developers to do so. And for every responsibility, you need ability, right? So they should choose the tools, they should own the tools, not the security people.
I also think that the fact that there are security people that developers might think that they are babysitting us, they are responsible for finding those issues and reporting us. I think that also contribute to this to this challenge, because the security team, in the end, the one that will fix the problem is the developer, right? I mean, it's not it's not the security team. It's not like going to push code to fix the problem. So I think that the fact that there is a security team causes this relying on the team to do it, on the security team.
Yeah, the tools, they're not security tools. The tools don't secure anything. The tools show insecurity. The tools show the problem you have to solve. And that's a mindset difference, right? And then for the security, you're not solving any problem. You're not in security. You're actually in insecurity. So you're telling other people what they should do better on a subject you can't do better. You haven't done yourself. I've been a developer for 7 years, and I know the pain. I know how it is when a project manager breathes in your back and says you have to deliver, right? So you have to learn. It's not you put something up on them. You have to understand they care about quality, and security is just another quality aspect. So we help
Exactly.
them.
I don't think they see it as bugs, but it's just a bug. I mean, if you're writing code that is not secure, it's just a bug. So
Exactly. I thought differently when I was young. I was like, no, security is more important than quality, and it's all different. And then you get all this like, no, I was wrong, others were right, and I have to apologize. But indeed, it's just a bug, and I don't need. I obviously this dashboards and KPIs and total numbers of vulnerabilities. Like, I don't care. I don't care if you have 5 or 10 SQL injections. I care that you have SQL injections, and I want you to solve the problem, but not solving the bumps, the issues, but solving the problems, curing the disease, right? So you zoom out and say, what is the problem that we have SQL injections? Maybe you should implement in .NET an entity framework, right? Or Hibernate for Java, not writing your queries. So it's not fixing the small spots, but curing the disease. And that's something that developers do when you tell them how to do it and when you work with them, like not put it up on them. It's not just another burden.
exactly, and also okay, maybe I've placed some security tools in my CI/CD pipeline, but do I really stop the build? Do I really write the policy that it will stop the deployment of a new feature if some security tool said that we have a critical finding? So maybe in critical, yeah, but will you do it on high and medium findings? So I think that's. I don't think any organization is brave enough to say, yeah, we'll stop the build on every security issue that every security tool finds, right?
Or better, testing for the overstop 10, right? It's like, no, it's not how it works. Fix the first five first and then the other five. No, I have seen this. They had like an incremental overstop 10 implementation. That is not right. That's not how it works. You have to understand quality, and one of the quality aspects is security, and you show them insecurity. And then what you said, when you have a SaaS tool, then suddenly you have 100,000 findings, right? It's not
Mhm.
uncommon when you have an existing application. And then suddenly it's like, oh, we're not secure. You've never been secure. The only difference is now you know, and now you can come with a strategy to improve.
Exactly, and okay, so there's also there is a gap between developers and security teams. So on some organizations where I work with, uh, I see that if the security team and the developers have a common language and they can sit together and work together, so this shift left adoption happens the best. I mean, that's the best organization. It happens when they can, work together. And then when you find an organization that there is a gap, that dev team and AppSec do not sit. Maybe they even sit like on different continents, and they don't really have this talk. And every conversation between them is a friction, and this friction is not good, right?
Yeah, I have seen that you don't need to sit on another continent. It's just being in a different department than the developers, right? Security people are under compliance and security, and developers are on engineering. And they don't talk because they're different department, but you have to be one of them. A previous company I worked for, I went to, I must say, and I asked the upset guys, like, why are you sitting on this floor? Because we were sitting with the information security people. He says, yes, but because I have to do write rules and guidance. I said, yes, but why are you sitting on this floor? Why are you not sitting with your developers? But I do security. He's like, yes, but you do AppSec, right? Just the physical distance of one floor. You're a different department. They don't talk to each other. Yeah.
Exactly. I've really met some developers that treated the security guys as like the cops, or like the bad cops that come and lecture them about the issues that they found on production. And
And I have to say, it's our fault. And I put my hands on myself as well, because we always said security is complex and difficult. When you're a project manager, you manage a project on time and money, and time is money. Then you want to keep everything out that is complex and right, because complexity means time and money. So we fall it. We mistake it by the whole FUD and asking for more. No, it's less. It's just common sense, how you write code, and then verification and the shift left. And I'm always mistaken, but pardon my French. Most times it's just shift left. Everything that security people don't want to do, they offload to the developers. That's not how it works, right?
And also vice versa. You can just trust the security team to find everything and do the work for you.
Yeah.
So I think the best organization it happens is there's some collaboration between those teams. Um, but
Yeah, yeah.
well,
Security.
we understand that it doesn't really. We cannot trust developers to become security champions tomorrow morning. It's definitely not going to happen in one day.
They don't have to be. Not a whole team. Security team is just it's like a QA in the development team. Is the security champion is the security conscience. It's not the one who does security, right? There's a quality engineer. The QA engineer is not the one who ensures the quality. No, the verifies the quality. And this security champion is just the security conscious of the team. Help them to show what's in there. Yeah.
So we came up with a suggestion from our observing organization and working with them that we can trust the developers to become quality experts in terms of security tomorrow. But what about the QA teams? So when I say QA team, could be like a separate QA team or like the automation engineer inside the development team, right? Because Agile kind of tells us that there is no QA anymore. But these guys already know how to work with developers, open bugs, find quality issues, and report to the developers, and the developer will fix it because this is like the contract that exists for thousands of years, right, between QA and developers. So why not give them responsibility also for security?
That's exactly when we talked about topics, and that's so much in my heart. And it's always from the beginning, from 20 years ago, because you have the pen tester that do the black magic security testing where you get a report and number of findings. But said, what did you test, right? What was your test scope? What was the test approach? And they're like, oh, I did security testing. I can't tell you about it. It's all top secret and black smoke and these are the issues you have to fix. And that's how it works. But the QAs have fought a battle to be part of the development team that we still try to fight and to win. I remember the time in extreme programming, we came together. So peer programming, we worked with the developers to write better code.
Mhm.
So the next step is indeed, as I said, security is not another quality aspect. And who is better to integrate test automation than test automation specialists, right? That's the thing. We should give responsibility to those who are responsible. Security should be a sponsor and guidance, a mentor, and the developers have to maintain the vulnerability application security post management platform, as it's called, the vulnerability dashboard, not the security. Because hey, who is trained to run a dashboard? Developers. Who is trained to integrate test automation? The QA specialist, right? I think it's just so obvious, but sometimes the obvious things are the easiest to overlook. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So how would you solve it? I mean, where you work today, I mean, how did you bring this to work?
First of all, I said the developers, it's their code, therefore it's their responsibility. I'm not doing security. I do insecurity. I'm not going from repository to repository and sprinkle security fairy dust. I know how it works, right? I just tell them, like, I'm the guide. Sometimes I compare myself, because my age, to Gandalf the Grey, right? I can be the kind wizard to guide you to Mount Doom. That may be a weird analogy, but I'm here to help you by asking the right questions to come to. But I'm not detecting they tell you what you have to do because it's their environment. They're the better developers. I've been a developer, but it's so long ago. I cannot be a developer anymore. I cannot call myself a developer anymore. But my heart is as development, and I can teach every developer security, but I cannot teach the security people's development because it's much more complex than they would understand. To appreciate the skills of the developers and help them to get better. That's actually what you do.
I also think that QA would really like to take security responsibility here because good QA, good testers really like to find bugs, right, with the applications. Like their goal is to find bugs for the developers, and if they'll start to use security tools correctly, they're going to find a lot of bugs, and that's what they're after, right? I mean, they're going to find tons of things there, The cycles will be much shorter than going from the AppSec team, like waiting for like a pen test or some incident for them to fix those issues.
As I said, extreme programming is from the 1996, right? It's 30 years that developers become part of testers are part of development team, right? So they are already have their feet in this area, right? There are those people who know about quality, and there are those who know about quality assurance. And as I said, they have the tools, have the abilities. Why I create offload to developers something that QA does? It's a team effort. Definitely now with DevOps, if you do it, you have a team responsibility from cradle to grave. And the tester is another DevOps engineer, right? They are part of it. And there are those who are skilled to do the testing, do the training. They know where to test, when to test, how to integrate it, how to report it, how to verify it. Yes.
Yes, and I definitely agree. And always the question about how we enforce it. I mean, to prioritize. If a QA finds a bug and they know easily how to prioritize it, right, with the developers, maybe with the product, but when they find a security issue, they will still need the AppSec team to guide them on the subject and tell them, okay, this is really an issue or not. I mean, maybe this security tool will say it's critical, but in our case, in our organization, it's not very critical, or vice versa. So they
Yeah,
still need someone else here.
that's a very good one because I see that the security people they come and say cross scripting. It's like a higher critical issue. Like, is it really? Then what is the context of the application? Where is this running? Say, oh no, but it's a cross scripting. Yes, but you have to see the context of this issue. And that's something the test does. And unfortunately, I think also the KPIs of security are wrong because the KPIs are on absolute numbers. When you know data, you don't look at absolute numbers, you look at trends, right? I want them to understand what's happening and want it to go down. And when you have a good security champion network, that you see somebody updating the front end template engine, right? And suddenly they have all the cross-site scriptings, you can call the others who have security champions of the teams who have the same technology and tell, hey, wait a minute, don't update. And together they come a solution to prevent those explosion of issues, and you have even prevented them before they're happening. Or even with your tool, right? The tool is just a tool when you have a rule update. Don't update all the engines right away because sometimes you have an issue explosion. So have one or two teams who are testing it, and then hey, something goes wrong, you prevent others to have the same pain. You share the pain, you share the burden, and prevent everybody to suffer. Yeah,
Exactly. And in this case, false positives, lots of false positive can really affect this issue because if the QA will stop everything on and stop the build, call the security guy, comes in and say, okay, this is not issue, false positive, go on with your life. This probably break very fast and then it's just stop or stop regarding those security tools. And it's up for tool developers to minimize false positive. That's,
yeah.
that's
Yeah. I have been working as contractor for and later on as employee for a tool vendor. I said, when you do a test, what does it really change? Nothing. Suddenly, you see people like freezing. What to do? And with all these issues and the false positives, like the first thing to do is a baseline because you have not improved. The first goal is not to make it worse, and then the second goal is to improve. It's not that you have to stop working. No, it's there, right? It has been there maybe for years. So the first thing is now not to create more issues, and then in the backlog to create to lower those you have. And of course, serious issues, critical issues is different, right? You have a very serious issue; those you have to fix, but you have to validate them. They're not a false positive. So with a team, it's not just giving them the tool, QA, good luck, turn around, walk away. No, be with them, be part of it, and help them. Show them that you care about their quality. So the first scan you do, it's a baseline scan. In general, nothing changed. Just now you see those really, you help them to verify the issues. So what is really critical to help, and everything else just park it for a time, right? The first thing in a case of crisis, keep reading, right? Don't just stall or fall on your back and hands up, legs up, and don't
exactly.
move, right? It doesn't work. Yeah.
And again, if you find this critical thing during development phase, then no harm is done. You find it fast, unless it's something from baseline that you realize it exists for years. I've seen those issues in some companies that I work with, that they first run the tool and then find issues that probably has been there for years, and now it's like, okay, problem, let's fix it fast.
Yeah.
Um,
But this is exactly where the upside comes to, right? The test automation help them to integrate it. The QA should be able to, the security champions do that, and be with them the first test, and then comfort them. It's like, hey, it's not blaming them, taking the security stick and beat them up, right? That's not how we make friends. So be there, tell, okay, it may look bad, but it's the reality. We do, therefore we make mistakes, and then help them to come to a strategy. What has to be solved first? And don't just rely on the high and criticals, right? Look at how to verify findings, go with them, tell them, hey, you have findings, how to validate the issues, how to make sure it's false positives and it's a true positive. What's about false negatives? How we lower those? Just be with them, help them, be the guidance, be the guide and the mentor. Yes.
And how we deal with the scale, because usually dev teams are much bigger than security teams, right? It's like they usually have like a few sort of 100 developers, for security people, and on big organizations, it's even bigger, the gap in the numbers. So how the how should the AppSec team prioritize between all those teams that will approach them? How do you
That is
think?
by train the trainers, right? Teach the mentors. You don't have to do it by yourself. You don't do security. What you need, you have to guide them to be more secure. And it's not by solving the problems yourself. Train your security champions, right? Appreciate your developers, train security champions. So they are actually those who help the teams. They are with their feet, with their hands and feet in the team, in the mod. And they are the QAs or even software developers who are the left shift pioneers, right? But you have to train them. So rather than do everything yourself, train them to help themselves. That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, definitely agree in that. And I think so. I think, as we said, I mean, putting the security in in charge and put the QA in charge of security. I think it's an interesting idea that CISO should try, because going to developer is going to be difficult, and going with the QA is going to be, I think, easier. And I think also to train as for security, to train the QA on what you need to find, what is important here, prioritize this, solve this, and then take it back to the developers might be more effective than just doing forcing them to do like yearly trainings on secure coding and things like that that big corporates tend to have. I think it will be much more helpful if the QA team will find those issues, tell developers, listen, you can't do this. We found another SQL injection. Please stop using plus equal on your functions when you query the database.
But
Also,
this is exactly right. The baseline of security, of the base on secure code, is quality awareness. It's not difference how I code if it's a trading application or if it's a banking clearinghouse application, right? There is a way how we talk to database. There is a way how we do input validation. The difference on the criticality is just the measures you take, like the multi-factor authentication or whatever, and the verification if you have something secure enough, right? So its baseline is quality. When you have no quality awareness, no code quality awareness, cyclometric complexity, and that kind of stuff, then you can forget about it. So you don't start running. You start standing, walking, and then you start running. Maybe even you start with crawling first. This baseline is being have a quality awareness. And
that's
hey, that's quality assurance again, right?
exactly same thing. It's a bug, just a bug. So I think we're near our time now. And thank you all for joining. Thank you very much, Martin, for this insightful talk. All the data that I've shown here, you can see it on this guide that we just issued, the CISO guide to Shift Left. We'd love to hear your comments about it, what you thought about can shifting left to QA teams will work better than doing it, trusting the developer team to do it on their own. Please let us know. And thank you very much. Thanks again, Martin.
Thanks for having me, Ori.
Bye all.